Good morning, Neil.
Hey, Sonny, right? How's it going?
I'm fine, thank you. Nice early start for Loose Man this time. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Just
Fantastic. Here we are
yeah.
again. So, Bud, what's on your mind today then? What would you like to talk about?
Why don't we talk about mirror, mirror on the wall?
Mirror, mirror on the wall. Okay, yes. Carry on.
Yeah. Have you never sort of got up in the mornings and sort of like especially like today, for instance, you get up, you're feeling a bit sort of fatigued, but do you never sort of walk into the bathroom and have a look at the mirror and sort of stand there and sort of give yourself a good dressing down?
Right. Okay. So, when you look in the mirror, do you see your own physical reflection, or do you see something more deeper than that?
I see like something deeper because I think it's a great opportunity for you to kind of like talk directly to you.
Yeah.
And I think if you want to look at it in one way, it's
Yeah.
like sort of like putting your power pose on to your morning. You
Yeah.
can really establish a great routine to your day by having
Yeah.
actually seen your reflection in that mirror, and you can
Yeah.
sort of really take control of your day from that way forward.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I think it's quite interesting, actually, the whole thing about looking in the mirror, because looking in the mirror, you can obviously there's like a literal thing to it, and there's also a kind of a metaphorical thing. So, with literally speaking, when you're looking in the mirror, you're obviously looking at yourself. You're looking at how you appear, and that can also affect your thoughts as well. You might think, "Oh my God," I might look in the mirror thinking, I look tired, I've got blackness underneath my eyes, then maybe I need to have a rest, or I need to start working so hard, or I need to work harder, depending on what I see, because that can affect your thought patterns as well. But also, the other thing about looking in the mirror is that you also look into your own eyes as well, and your eyes can reveal a lot in terms of your emotional state, whether you're feeling happy, you're feeling sad, you're feeling irritated, or frustrated, or very positive, very optimistic, and some people, they find it quite difficult to look in the mirror for any length of time, and that's quite telling as well, because if somebody is struggling to even look at themselves, and maybe there's something they're not quite happy about themselves, about maybe they want, maybe I know your secret and nobody else knows, and then you just feel a bit of shame or something like that.
How are we doing?
Hello, Neil. I think we're back now. Everything all right?
I'm not too sure if it's your signal or my signal.
Okay, from where I was just sitting, I can see myself and hear myself, but then on your screen it went a bit buffering, but I've left it on data. You know what it is, Neil? With the broadband, I've noticed the last week or so, sometimes even if I'm working on my computer with the broadband, it just cuts off. It just comes back on again. I have to refresh it. So I don't know whether the broadband is being overloaded. Too many people going on there at the same time. Who knows? Mind you, you know why? Because it's nearly 9 o'clock, so it's like remote working time. So maybe the whole nation are trying to get onto the broadband.
This is it. This
right.
is it, isn't it?
Okay, my friend. Right. So I was just saying, in answer to your question, looking in the mirror. So you can physically look in the mirror and see what you can see, and that can affect how you might feel. And also, when you look in the mirror, you're the one who knows what's happening inside in terms of your true emotions, your feelings. And again, that could, on the inverse, maybe you might think, oh God, I don't look great, I don't look this, that, and the other, I need to do something. And then people might make some physical changes to how they, what clothes they wear, they need to put on weight, lose weight, get fit, whatever it might be, And the other thing about looking in the mirror is when you say to someone metaphorically, you need to look in the mirror, basically, you need to almost put a mirror in front of you and see what's being reflected, so you can see a happy person, an optimistic person, or an angry person, or a sad person. So it's about going sometimes we don't go deep because we don't have the time. And that's something else that we probably struggle with because of our day-to-day lives and struggles, is we just live the life and do it, but we don't necessarily think about it or reflect. And that's where the reflection thing with the mirror analogy is really important, to take even 5 minutes to just take a pit stop and just stop and be still and think about your language, think about your attitude, think about your behaviors and other things as well.
I think as well, Sonny, I think as well, I do apologise, I've got a little guest that comes in, he works with me in the mornings, he's a four-legged dog.
Oh, can you show him? Can I see him? Oh, go on, loose man, we can do anything we like. Bring him on, let me say hello. I think he wants a piece of the action. He's saying, hello, hello, hi, oh, hello, hello, darling, hello. Oh, he's gorgeous, Neil.
Yeah,
Sorry, is he or a she? He's a he.
He's a he. He's a he.
He's gorgeous, gorgeous, lovely. What's his name?
His name's Dylan.
Dylan. He's already my friend already. I think Dylan knows that his owner is talking to someone and quite regularly. So he's like, who is this person taking my owner away from me?
That's it. Yeah, that's it. But I think going back to like that whole mirror on the wall, and I mean, it's something that I practice quite daily.
Okay.
If I'm feeling quite slow, when I first wake up in the morning, I always just go into the bathroom and I literally just sort of stand there and I literally just not sort of shout, but I would sort of give myself a dressing down. You know, it's almost like a boxer. You know, getting ready to go into that ring. You know, you're giving yourself that real sort of like stern sort of telling to. And I think
interesting.
I think one thing I find from it as well, though, is I think when you're talking out loud to yourself, you're actually saying it vocally out loud. Yeah. You know, and I think it sort of just gives you that kind of like drive and that push to sort of make those changes. And I think this could possibly work. I think for somebody that's feeling very, very busy, you know, you could just walk to the mirror and just turn around and say, do you know what? Today I'm going to just try my best. Today I'm going to make sure that I'm going to have a break at 12 p.m. Yeah. You know, today I'm going to make sure that actually I'm not going to snack on that. I'm going to make sure at 10, you know, or you might walk to that mirror and turn around and say, hey, do you know what? Look, let's have a great day. Let's have a great day. It's because you're seeing you and you've been able to say it to you, you've been able to then sort of make that link to you. And I think sometimes we sit too much in this. And it's almost like you've got so much that you want to sort of say or you're thinking, but you can't actually get it out. So that I think that's what creates that momentum then in your brain, where it just starts to overload. But I think it's just a simple little tip, you know, like I said, that I definitely sort of like, it works for me. I'm not sure if anyone else does it. I probably look bonkers.
No, that's amazing insight. I never thought about that. I actually think that's a very powerful coaching technique. That's a really powerful coaching technique in the sense that you're getting that person to basically talk to themselves. And that's part of the problem. We don't do enough talking to ourselves. We don't do enough relationship building with ourselves, because it's us who has to do everything. You know, we have to do the work, we have to interact with people, have relationships, but then how many times do we check in with ourselves? I think that okay, it may sound a bit bizarre to to anybody else thinking, well, why would you want to talk to yourself in the mirror? But it's actually a very, very powerful, it's a very powerful thing. And you know what? It's a private thing. No one needs to know. It's only you and the reflection. So this is why it's a private thing and no one needs to know. And yes, it just reminds you that it's you. You are the one who is the most important, and you're the one who's living in this world. You're the one who is part of this relationship, this project, this task, or this entity, whatever it might be. And you should never ignore yourself. And some people do. You know, they just get morphed. You know, the term morphing. You just get morphed into a relationship, and then you lose your identity. You get morphed into this, morphed into your employer, morphed into your business, and then you just lose your sense of self. And you just become a part of something and you become a part. But then by looking in the mirror, you restore your identity. You look at yourself full on. And I think as a self-motivation technique, I think it's very powerful, because if there's nobody else to motivate you, then it's you who's motivating. Even us doing Loose Men like this, it's like I'm talking to you, but I'm also talking to myself. I can see myself talking. So in a way, it's a bit like a mirror reflection. So it's brilliant. It's like I'm beating up myself.
I think it's something as well that it's a great technique to use if you're going to go in for an interview. You know, and you know,
definitely.
I always used to make sure that there wasn't people in the toilets, but I would just sort of stand there before I go in, and I would literally just say to myself in the mirror, "You've got this. This is your job." I go in there and kickstart it and just boss the interview. You know, but again, like I said, when you think about it, like I said again, you're having this fight daily with you, because it's this that's telling you that, hey, do you know what? I don't know. I'm so busy. I'm so stressed. I can't cope. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's only you telling you that.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
You can be very busy, but I think, like I said again, if you kind of approach it in terms of, if you just took yourself away from your desk for maybe 2 minutes and just actually just go and stand somewhere, it doesn't even have to be in a mirror. I think you can just go and find like a quiet little spot when you're going out for a walk and just actually say out loud, hey, do you know what? I am great. I am powerful. I am able to do what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, I mean, like, what comes to mind? I mean, I did a podcast yesterday with another of my collaborators, and because he's quite keen to learn about neuro-linguistic programming. So where I've been doing input on neuro-linguistic programming, him being a yoga meditation teacher from Indonesia, he's been teaching me about breath work and meditation. So it's like a mutual collaboration. And anyway, yesterday I did a podcast on the NLP technique, the meta model. So it's the universal meta model where we, in our communication, we can sometimes distort what we are meaning to say. We can generalize it, or we can delete. And so by doing this, by engaging in this, we may not be giving the most clear picture of what's going on in our minds. We're not giving a full reflection of what's happening inside. And so what I think by looking in the mirror, if you're looking in the mirror, what you're doing is you're actually potentially downloading your deep structures. And your deep structures inside your mind are your thoughts, emotions, and feelings. And the thoughts, emotions, and feelings then could govern your language, and your language is your surface structure. So your deep structure is your mind, and your surface structure is what you're saying. So, but thereby, by being aware of the meta model of distortion, generalization, and deletion, you are then making sure that your deep structure is connected with your surface structure. And so you're making sure there's a pathway for you to express. So if you look in the mirror and you're thinking, oh my God, I look awful, then you can talk to yourself and say, I look awful today. Why do I look awful? It's because, Sunil, you didn't get enough sleep, or you were doing too much computer work, or you didn't do this, or blah, 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 blah. So then I have this self-talk going on. But the self-talk is fluent and clear and unequivocal, because I'm confidently talking to my deep structure, okay? So it's having that connection. But when we are with other people, this is where it gets complicated, and especially if you're talking to your manager at work, or you're talking to your partner or your children, then sometimes you may not want to, you can't fully express, even though it might be important to you, because you don't want to offend people, you want to be tactful, diplomatic, and all these other things. You don't want to download fully, you don't want to verbalize fully what's in your mind. However, that might be a good thing if you want to keep the status quo, keep the peace, and it's not worth doing anyway. But then again, it can be damaging if you don't tell people what's on your mind, especially if you allow it to lodge yourself in your unconscious, then it comes back as a shadow to haunt you. So this is where that connection between deep structure and surface structure is possible when you look in the mirror. That's what I'm trying to say. Sorry.
I think as well, like I said, and again, just sort of like trying to break it down into like a simple box. But I think for me, when I look at it, it's almost like a submarine. If you imagine a submarine, when they ping sonar, it just goes ping, ping,
Yeah, yeah,
ping.
yeah,
And I think when you look at it in terms of if you're writing, so let's say for instance you're writing down something on your goals,
yeah,
or you're speaking them out loud, or maybe you're reading about something. But
yeah,
I think the reason why I sort of chose this subject today, just to sort of briefly talk about it, because it can be quite brief. But what I'm trying to say is, if you imagine that submarine, and every time
mm,
you're sending out a message, so if you're saying to yourself in that mirror, do you know what? I'm going to boss today. I'm going to get over this today. I'm going to do this today.